obviously leadership is a really broad universe of skills. And some of those skills are really important in some contexts and less so in others. And then there's sort of some of the foundational core, I think, as you've indicated, that are pretty transcendent. And, when we put together the wellness-centered leadership construct with Dave Logan, a former associate dean in the business school at USC, who's a international expert who studied the scholarly fields of leadership in many different fields, and we were working with Dave to talk about some of this data in healthcare leadership and how did it fit into the broader context, and then specifically which subdimensions of leadership most germane for the engagement and burnout. We distilled it down to these three things, which were caring about people always, and that in a sense is, I think, recognizing that you as a leader play an important role in the well-being of the people you're leading. And that's a heavy weight if one really thinks about it, that the professional fulfillment, the risk of burnout, the welfare of your team members, and the spillover effect on their families is going to be influenced by your leadership. I mean, that is a mantle that is a heavy one, but we have to embrace it. And to understand that our team members have multifaceted needs as individuals. So those are kind of the care always. And then there's the cultivate relationships, which is both cultivating relationships with each individual team member, if you're leading a team of 20 members or thereabouts or less, and investing in their individual success. And then nurturing the interrelationships of the team, right? Trying to build that community of the team and helping that team have a collective vision and a shared sense of purpose. Because we need to not just have every individual have their personal career aspirations. We do want to help support those, but we also need to help them understand how they're contributing to the shared purpose of the team. So that's sort of that cultivate relationships, second domain. And then the third domain is inspire change. And in that sense, it's helping the team think beyond current state, providing people the opportunity to make suggestions for improvement, building consensus of which of those suggestions will be prioritized and are possible now, and then empowering the team to drive change in those prioritized areas that have been determined to be possible. And I think in that sense, that inspire change one is a little bit of just, it's the candle in the dark, right? No matter how bad the current circumstance is, if you believe we're getting better, you will keep moving forward. And in that sense, again, coming to healthcare, a unit where things might not be great, but they have a leader who's committed, that's empowering people to make progress, and people are seeing effective change and says, we're not there now, but we're getting better every 3 months, every 6 months, every year, in some ways is a much more favorable place to be than a unit that's average, that's stale and stagnated. Because they still see the things that aren't working, but they're not addressing them and they're not getting better. And in that sense, it's better to be in a unit where we will always be changing, right? We're always improving, and your voice and the needs you're raising are the ones we're working on and advancing. And so I think that's how we think about this for leaders, of sort of those care always, cultivate individual relationships, inter-team relationships, and then inspiring change.